Hello, welcome to the Joy of Yoga. I'm Joy Scola, and we are on our day 3 of getting confident with going upside down, our collaboration with YogaBody Trapeze. So we are going to get started coming around to the back of our hammock. Take one side of the fabric and just gently shake it out so it's nice and open. Beautiful. We're going to test the hammock here. So go ahead and grab maybe your top handles, give them some tugs. Feels pretty secure. Good. Take those middle handles, give them a nice tug, maybe sink your weight into it a little bit. You can even kind of come side to side. We're testing the hammock here. We want to make sure that the hammock can fully support us when we're upside down. You give some tugs. Push into it, feeling it, perfect. And then even the hammock itself, push down. Maybe see if you're comfortable with picking your feet up. Beautiful, tugging. Maybe we'll grab the hammock and lean back with it. You can rock side to side, come forward. It seems pretty secure, right? Okay, good. So now we are going to take the fabric, place it right under and on top or just under the hip bones, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. You can keep your hands down or your feet down or both if you can reach it. But then slowly we're gonna take one hand away, breathe. Maybe look around. Notice. Maybe try and look back up. Look in front of you. We're still here. We're still good. You can put your right hand back down. Now your left hand comes up. Same thing. You want to look around. You look at your feet. Look up at where the trapeze is mounted. Look in front. This is okay, right? We're orienting ourselves. Hand comes down. Nice. Now maybe our right hand comes back up to grab the trapeze. And then how do we feel about bringing the left hand up? And being here with our hands holding onto the fabric. Can you look around again? What can you see? Nice. And then maybe we let one hand go, not holding the ground. Maybe it grabs the back of our knee. Maybe the other hand grabs the other knee. Looking around. Just noticing. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, your hands can reach back up to your fabric. You extend your legs long towards the earth as you kind of curl your tailbone down so you can walk forward and stand up. Nice. It's okay, right? We're doing good. We're here. We're back on our 2 feet. We're alive, thriving. So let's go ahead and do that again. Getting up nice and tall so that way our hips hinge over the fabric. If you just take your feet away, you're gonna swing. If you're nervous about swinging, bring the hands down, slowly walk your hands and your feet back under you until you don't feel that fabric pulling. Now we're gonna come into a tuck. So I'm gonna bend my knees and grab my ankles. Maybe inhale, open and lift if that's comfortable for you. You look around, we're here. You can even put your foot down. And then come back to tuck. Again, see if you can let go of the fabric. Maybe grab your ankles or your knees. Back to the fabric. Feet get heavy if you want to put a foot down. Help lift up, look out. We're safe, we made it back. One more time. Tucking down. See if you can grab those ankles or knees. And then back up. Beautiful. We're here. We're good. We're in one piece. Take that fabric, grabbing one side, shaking it out so it gets that nice, beautiful, open hammock. So, to sit in this thing, we're just going to swing on it. We're just going to see how it does when we're sitting in it. So, thumbs in, fingers facing forward. I pull the fabric apart and I push down so that way my hips and my bottom can slide right onto the fabric. Beautiful. So here, let's just swing a little bit. So if you haven't swung in a while, if you've never gone swinging, you come to a tuck and then open out. Tuck, open out. Nice. So just noticing if I'm swinging, I'm secure. Maybe you want to start a little bit of a rocking rotation motion. Nice. And pull the fabric apart so it rocks you, twists you the other way. Okay, so we're still here. We're still secure, right? Everything's good. So pulling that fabric apart. And you want to stay pulling it apart. So that way it brings you back to center. And even with that little extra swing and twist, we're still good, right? Beautiful. So you can stay where you're at. I'm just going to get down so that way when I drop backward, my face is towards you. So we want the fabric just right below where our butt meets our thigh, right underneath like the cheek. And then we want the top part of the fabric right above the hip bones this time, but not on our stomach. Just right above the hip bone or still underneath. It's up to you. But I like to squeeze the fabric nice and wide, or nice and together. And as I rock back, I'm just going to tuck my knees and then sit back up. Beautiful. So as you notice with your knees together, if you were to go all the way, you would just come right out of your fabric. So when we do eventually go upside down, those knees have to go wide because what we talked about in our last video, that leverage. We have to have something that can hook onto the hammock that keeps us up. If there's nothing there, then we go right through. So if you're not super comfortable doing those tucks with your knees together because you're not comfortable maybe possibly going too far and having to land on your feet, you can take those knees wide, bend and tuck. Coming back up. Beautiful. And if that's the case, you can always grab your middle handle too. Inhale, exhale, knees wide, and then they come together to tuck and back together. Beautiful. So yeah, one more time, wherever you're at, now tuck and back. Beautiful. So now we are going to go into our what's called dancers. It's like an upside down dancer pose, like literally. And this will help us get used to, one, not holding onto the ground, but two, also finding our limbs when we're upside down in space. So, grabbing that fabric, you want to make sure that your handles stay out of the wrap. You're not wrapping your legs around it and then getting stuck. So just be mindful of that as you rock back. If you don't hold your handles and you're just holding the hammock. So squeezing the hammock fabric, if that's what you're doing. Nice and low by the hips. Inhale, exhale, rock back. Taking those knees wide. You can move the fabric out of the way and lay back. Beautiful. If this is like super crazy for you, you can stay right here, no problem. But if you want to go further, you can extend that right leg up, unwind your left leg, let it drop back behind you. Beautiful. If you are holding the ground, try to let go, one hand at a time. If you need to have one hand here, don't put any weight just tap it with your fingers maybe, and then so all of your weight is in your hammock. You want to take your left hand to your left ankle, breathe. Left hand can come to the earth if you need something touching, just the fingertips. Right hand can reach for your left ankle. Breathe. Beautiful. And then slowly release. Grab the fabric so you can take your foot around the front. Wrap. Grab your middle handles. Unwrap both of your legs. Slowly sit up. Nice. We're alive. We did it. Nice. We're breathing. So now we're going to go back and do the other side. So again, you want to hold on to the hammock itself, holding it nice to the hips, and then rocking back. So it actually feels better for me if my hammock sits below my hip bone still. Just notice what feels right for you. So left leg comes straight up. Again, if you have to have your fingers down, you can, but we're really trying to trust in just having, not even holding onto the fabric, but just hanging. So if you can, maybe bring your palms together at your heart, or hold your shoulders, or touch your hips. Try not to hold the fabric or the ground, but if you must, fingertips. Unwrap the right leg this time, or opposite leg, and then same hand to same ankle. Breathe. If your fingertips are touching, maybe play with taking your fingertips off. Maybe make a cool mudra or a hand pose. Breathe. And then see about switching those hands. Opposite hand to opposite foot. Beautiful. Nice and slow. You can rewrap. Grabbing your middle handles. Unwrap both legs. Slowly sit up. Beautiful. So, especially if you're not used to going upside down, you might feel a bit of a head rush when you sit back up. You can always open out your hammock and lay back into it, so that way you're more horizontal, and that will just allow the blood flow to kind of regulate a little bit easier, instead of more of a rush of it coming down. So just moving mindfully, feeling into your body, breathe into your head, breathe into your heart. How are you feeling? If that was enough for you today, that's okay. You can always come back again tomorrow and do more. So if you're ready, we're going to sit back. Pinching the hammock so that way it's nice and low and tight by the hips. Rocking back. Beautiful. So again, if you need your fingertips to touch the earth or to hold on to something, that's okay. But eventually we're going to start to let go and just be like, look, ma, no hands. So next we're going to take our left leg back behind us, and then our right leg back behind us. See if you can grab your ankles with your hands, or if you have to have a hand down or holding on to something, take turns and maybe see if you can not hold on to anything as you switch your grips until you can just be free. And then again, nice and slow, you can grab your handles, slowly sit up. This time I'm going to take my fabric out and we're going to lay straight back. So I like to hook my heels on the fabric at the bottom, so like my feet are kind of close to my hips. Or you can always take your legs up, kind of like legs up the wall, and let your head rest into the hammock and just breathe. We're just noticing here, maybe see if you can take your hands overhead, let your head stick out a little bit. Just getting used to trusting the hammock, trusting this process, trusting our own bodies, our own selves. Seeing what it's like to feel supported by this fabric. Sometimes I like to try and swing, rotate myself a little bit, get some kind of rocking motions, and then I close my eyes. And to me, it just almost feels like being back in the womb. I'm supported, but also like floating. And it just makes me feel like I'm a little baby fetus back in a belly. And just see how that resonates with you. Does that bring up anything that doesn't feel good? Or does that make you feel good? If it makes you feel uneasy, breathe into that sensation. There's nothing bad. There's no bad emotions. There's no bad sensations. It's all information. Your body literally is just trying to be like, hey, I want to let you know something. And so if we like, and we run from it, or we push it down, or we don't face it, it just keeps coming. It's going to keep coming. It's going to keep being triggered. So we have to breathe into it, lean into it, feel into it. Where does maybe say you have fear? Where does the fear come from? Did something happen as a child or recently where, getting upside down or having to trust something you're not used to, like maybe didn't pan out all the way in your favor? We're going to work through that. Feel that, grow through it. Beautiful. So when you're ready, if you have your legs kind of wrapped up like a dead bug, you can slowly take those legs down. Nice and slow up. Just take a second, orient yourself. Maybe if you had your eyes closed, slowly blink them open. Look all around you. Maybe even look underneath you. Not that high up, and you're actually only high up from like your bottom to the ground. So this, like, our head adds an extra like 3 to 4 feet of like, oh my gosh, but really like you can put your foot down, right? So it's not as far as we might think. And so with one foot down, nice and slow, stepping the other foot down. Okay, holding onto the fabric as you walk around. Nice. And we're back on the earth. We flew and we landed safely back down. So thank you guys so much. Please leave any questions or comments if you have them. We have 2 more days of getting upside down and confident. So be sure to like and subscribe and stick around because I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.